Hi, my name is Lucy Kesselman, and I'm a first-year student at the University of Arizona. My major is mild to moderate disabilities through the College of Education. I decided to join Native Student Outreach Access Resiliency. I was looking for opportunities to get involved in the university and the communities throughout Tucson. I'm not from Tucson, but at home I really enjoy doing volunteer work and working with kids. I took Native SOAR because I really wanted to be a part of a group where I could work with students younger than I am and be able to play a role in their life. I have found that through mentoring in Native SOAR, it has been extremely fulfilling for me. The students my group mentors are learning and better understanding ideas regarding college and everything that comes with it. During high school, I had been a mentor for students at my school who have disabilities and were in self-contained classrooms. When I found out about Native SOAR, I was really interested in the class because I knew that mentoring in college was going to be different than in high school, but it was still something I was passionate about and wanted to continue with. The idea of service learning in Nelson and Youngbull's article, Indigenous Knowledge, realized understanding the role of service learning at the intersection of being a mentor and a college-going American Indian was something that I connected with, and it really made me think. The text states, service learning actively involves college students and encourages them to build a connection and a sense of commitment to the community. This idea is something I really connected with because being able to find a community was something super important to me when coming to college. Through SOAR, the classes seem to become an almost family, and that has affected all of us in our mentoring. Even our mentoring groups have become similar to families. Mentoring online was not what I had expected from taking this class, but I really enjoyed it. I have come to be thankful for having Zoom as a resource. My group has been able to use Zoom to prepare for upcoming sessions. Online mentoring is a great resource because it reaches students that do not live in Tucson. It is cool that some of our mentees live closer to Phoenix or on their reservation. I have been able to learn more about myself and how to work with people who all have different schedules and work as a group through Zoom. In our mentoring group, we have asked the mentees what they want to know about college and applying. We took their ideas and made lesson plans based on those interests. I have learned from this because the mentees have asked questions and wanted to learn more about things I didn't even think about when I was in high school. So while we researched to answer their questions, I was learning at this time as well. I have learned to be super flexible with this because sometimes we would have a plan for upcoming sessions, then someone would have a question and we would change our whole plan to support them. When the mentees said they were curious about different topics, I learned a lot about them as well. Familial support was something that we learned about in our readings, and it directly related to my mentoring because I understood how important family is. In the article, Family Lessons and Funds of Knowledge, written by Kayama, the author states, I expand upon three key areas of funds of knowledge that focus primarily on educational practices and access to educational resources, daily educational practices within the household, extended family and social networks, and pre-existing family college knowledge. One of the mentees had once mentioned after our lesson he had been learning about resume writing and interviewing skills in school as well as in our session. I had learned more about this student because he had mentioned what he was doing in school and what pushed him to keep moving forward with his education. I learned that his family was a large factor to him continuing his education. This student had more complex interests and wasn't sure what he wanted to do with his life, but something in the computer coding field. I learned that his parents pushed him to do better in school and he would go to college. With our other mentees, I got a strong feeling that their families pushed them to continue on with their education and wanted them to do well. I saw these three key ideas from the text reflected in our mentees in different ways. I plan to incorporate what I have learned about the experiences of Indigenous students in higher education into my upcoming semesters. I know that there are lots of minorities within universities, but I didn't realize how big the gap was with Indigenous students. Like mentioned in the introduction to Beyond the Asterisks, enrollment for Indigenous students have gone up, but they are still vastly underrepresented. I can relate to the idea of being a minority at many universities because I'm Jewish. Although U of A doesn't have the largest Jewish population, it does have one. In my upcoming semesters, I want to learn more about different minorities in higher education and what affects them going farther in school and what may hinder those experiences. I plan to incorporate everything I have learned about mentoring into my future because I know that I will be taking on different mentor-mentee roles in my future. I have learned so much about myself in mentoring by taking Native SOAR. I'm so grateful I took this class. Thank you.